Are you ready? Welcome to Conflict Nexus Report, where we bring latest updates about global world crises and latest news. Hang tight for what we have for you today. November 2024. A brigadier general fights for his life in the Nigerian bush. He makes frantic calls. "I'm alive. Send help." Then, the line goes dead. While his superiors denied his capture, insurgents were already hunting him down. And when the truth finally emerged, one voice had been conspicuously silent until now. This is the story of Brigadier General Mohammed Uba, the highest-ranking Nigerian military officer ever executed by terrorists, and the wife who's now demanding answers about the silence surrounding his death. Before we dive into this heartbreaking story, if you're new here, welcome to our channel where we bring you untold stories from Africa. Please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our investigative reports. On November 14, 2024, along the dangerous Damboabu Road in Borno State, a military convoy came under heavy fire. The attackers were fighters from the Islamic State West Africa province, known as ISWAP. In that ambush, 2 soldiers and 2 members of the Civilian Joint Task Force were killed immediately. But the real target, Brigadier General Mohammed Uba, commander of the 25 Task Force Brigade, managed to escape. Bloodied and breathless, he crawled into the bush and pulled out his phone. He made desperate calls to his colleagues. "I'm alive. Send help." He even shared his live location. But help never came. Here's where this story takes a disturbing turn. While General Uba was fighting for survival in the bush, the Nigerian Defence Headquarters issued a statement that would later become infamous. They claimed reports of his abduction were false and that he had returned safely to base. He never did. While military officials were typing reassuring press releases, ISWAP hunters were tracking down the wounded general. They found him, captured him, and according to intelligence sources, someone inside the military may have sold out his escape route. For days, the military maintained their denial. But images began circulating online showing the general in captivity. When confronted with photographic evidence, officials went silent. On Monday, November 18th, ISWAP announced they had executed Brigadier General Uba. They released photos to prove it. Only then did President Bola Tinubu confirm what many had feared. Nigeria had lost a senior military commander in the most humiliating way possible. This wasn't just another casualty. This was the highest-ranking Nigerian military officer ever captured and executed by jihadists in the 15-year insurgency. So who was this man whose death sparked such controversy? Brigadier General Mohammed Uba was a member of the Nigerian Defence Academy's 48 regular course. He studied political science and graduated in 2001 as a second lieutenant, specializing as an infantry officer. Those who knew him described him as exceptionally brave. He had survived countless battles in the Northeast, repeatedly leading his troops into ISWAP and Boko Haram enclaves. Military sources say terrorists had been specifically targeting him because of his courage and effectiveness. He was married with children. He had risen through the ranks with distinction. He was due to become a major general by 2028. Just a year ago, the High Command specifically recommended him to lead the 25 Task Force Brigade because of his exceptional record. One colleague said, "The ISWAP and Boko Haram have been targeting him because of his courage to lead troops to their enclaves." Now he's gone, and his wife, along with countless other military widows, is left to pick up the pieces. In a video that has since gone viral, Brigadier Uba's wife spoke out about something that had been eating at her: the deafening silence surrounding her husband's death. She questioned why there seemed to be so little public acknowledgement of his sacrifice. Why the initial cover-up? Why the lack of transparency? And she's not alone. Across Nigeria, military widows are speaking out about a system that seems designed to forget them. One widow said, "Life is very difficult for me and my 4 children. I now sell firewood to feed myself and my children because relatives of my late husband do not support me." Another said, "Every day, I beg my landlord to be patient. My rent was due since May and I haven't been able to pay." The stories are heartbreaking and similar. Delayed benefits, bureaucratic nightmares, lack of institutional support, and a sense of abandonment by the very institution their husbands died serving. Research shows Nigerian military widows face systematic neglect, with many describing the army as a non-caring institution when it comes to soldiers' deaths and the aftermath for families. Brigadier Uba's case highlights several troubling patterns in Nigeria's fight against terrorism. First, intelligence leaks. Multiple sources suggest ISWAP may have intercepted his communications or received insider information about his location. In a war where information is everything, that is catastrophic. Second, the military's reflexive denials. Instead of transparency, there's a pattern of cover-ups that erode public trust. Third, the broader picture of military families left in limbo. Since 2009, an estimated 10,000 Nigerian soldiers have died. Behind each number is a family struggling with loss, bureaucracy, and often poverty. In 2022, military wives staged protests in Kebbi State, saying, "The killing is too much. They've turned us to widows." Their pleas were met with accusations of trying to demoralize the military. The killing of Brigadier General Uba represents both an operational and symbolic blow to Nigerian forces. Since 2009, the conflict with Boko Haram and ISWAP has claimed over 36,000 lives and displaced more than 2 million people. Terrorists have been systematically targeting higher-ranking officers. From Major General Mohammed Uba in 2012 to countless colonels and majors, they have been climbing the ranks with disturbing precision. President Tinubu said he was depressed by Uba's death and called for more intelligence sharing. But to many military families, these words feel hollow when support systems for widows and orphans remain broken. The Senate has called for the recruitment of 100,000 additional military personnel and demanded a full investigation into the $30 million spent on the Safe School program, which failed to prevent recent mass kidnappings. Brigadier General Uba's widow broke her silence because she, like many others, is tired of military families being forgotten. Her husband didn't just die, he was abandoned. First by a system that may have leaked his position, then by a military establishment that denied his capture, and now, possibly, by a bureaucracy that treats widows as burdens instead of families of heroes. As Nigeria continues its fight against terrorism, the question isn't just about strategy or equipment. It's about whether the nation values the people who sacrifice everything. Will Nigeria finally listen to the voices of military widows demanding transparency, support, and dignity? Or will Brigadier Uba's death be just another statistic in a long, tragic list? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, his wife will no longer be silent. And neither should we. What do you think about this story? Should there be more accountability for how military deaths are handled? Should military widows receive better support? Let us know in the comments below. If this video opened your eyes to an important issue, please give it a thumbs up and share it so others can learn this story too. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more investigative reports from across Africa. Thank you for watching, and may Brigadier General Musa Uba and all fallen heroes rest in peace. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and turn on the subscribe button to be notified whenever we drop latest news.